Hello, this is Dean, and welcome to another video. Today we're reading Chapter 13 of Hermitcraft Mayhem. As you can tell from the title and thumbnail of this video, we are jumping into a Minecraft-inspired fanfiction where I put Minecraft players that I watch into a world, a universe, and see what happens. Kind of like D&D, and in this case, it's just the Hermitcraft peeps, people on Hermitcraft. So, yeah. This is not canon to anything the hermits are doing, so don't stress about it too much. It's just for fun. Impulse awoke the next morning, just as the first rays of light peeked over the horizon. He yawned, rubbing the sleepers from his eyes before taking a seat at the table. The meeting room was quiet. Only the subtle sound of fabric brushing against the wall. Eliza was on duty, within earshot in case anything happened. Impulse shook the thought away. Almost a week had passed since Carnival went after them. It felt more like weeks than days to him. Impulse let out a heavy sigh. No matter how hard he tried, he could not get the hungry look on Rob's face from his mind. He looked so much like Gerald it unsettled him, especially in the dream world. Focus on what's in front of you, Impulse whispered, placing a hand on the shell of the communicator B-Depths made. Beside it were the inner wiring that Impulse had worked tirelessly to piece together. Finally, it was almost done. Impulse frowned at the gadget, flipping the empty shell over as the back slid off, clattering softly on the polished spruce wood surface. He grabbed the wires and gently pressed them into the machine. Impulse was pretty sure he'd gotten everything. He checked countless times, now just to set the frequency and see what he could uncover. Impulse pressed in the final redstone wire as doubt trickled into his thoughts. What if it didn't do anything? What if all this hard work was for nothing? He shook his head, screwing on the back. He couldn't give up. He couldn't let Carnival and his men get another chance to just walk into the fortress, not without a real challenge. A fight if need be. Could he install something like that? Was there a way that didn't require redstone? He turned the communicator over, looking it up and down one final time before turning it on. Here goes nothing, he said softly, as the screen blinked to life. It was similar to his design, but the layout of the buttons were way off. Was there a reason for that? He leaned closer to the device, fiddling with the settings. They looked unchanged from the last time he studied them. No hidden code he could exploit either. It was clean. It seemed secure. Pulse took out his communicator and put it beside the null. He turned on the individual deactivation, assessing how his gadget responded. Was there a way to block the signal from the null or alert the user that the device had been deactivated? But what if someone wanted to turn it off without triggering the alarm? Maybe he should have a way that only protectors would know about. Or maybe not. His mind flashed back to the conversation with Sam and Liam. Some of the escaped convicts were former protectors. He couldn't risk someone with ill intent abusing it, even if it was possible. How am I possibly going to figure you out? Impulse told the machine quietly. It rested on the table, giving no response. He fiddled with it again, seeing if there was a loophole or anything he could use. I have to try. He picked up the communicator, even if it was the only one he knew how to turn off. Even if he was the only one who knew how to turn off the alarm, it would mean more lives would be saved. He needed to figure out how to keep them from being blocked as well. He had to try. I didn't think you'd be up already, a voice spoke from behind him. Impulse jumped, turning around to see Sam step into the room. don't know when Carnival will show up, so I have to be ready. Sam chuckled, sitting down in a nearby armchair. It hasn't been a week. If he has clones, he doesn't need more than a week. Sam nodded. I guess that's true, but we don't know that he does. Just knowing Rob and Kyle are out, both of whom wouldn't hesitate to hurt us. I can't risk that. Not if I can help it. Have you been sleeping well? Impulse shrugged. We spent some time in the dream world together, away from Gerald. Good, but what about a good night's sleep? Can't risk that right now with Gerald's hauntings. So they're getting worse. Impulse nodded. He put Green Skyr and I through an inescapable nightmare, like a manifestation of fear, but worse. Sam nodded, crossing his legs. Tell me about it. Tell me more about it. Impulse sighed. It's hard to explain. The dream world can manifest nightmares through shadows. What we call our fears. It can find us and drag us under. Gerald did that to you? Impulse nodded. He looked back down at the gadget. He made us relive the night moments where we were afraid. Like, truly afraid. No matter where I went, I entered another awful scene. Impulse shook his head, trying to fight back the tears burning in his eyes. He did not want to go back there. Were they similar to the headband? Sam pressed, his deep blue eyes full of concern. Worse, Impulse rasped. Sam nodded. I wonder how you managed to do that. Impulse shrugged. Same way we've been doing it. Practice. But can you drag someone into a nightmare? Impulse frowned. Not that I know of, but Gerald did. He had a lot of time with the headband, probably more than Julius. Sam brightened. You could ask him about it. He's shown me all he knows, and none of it is like anything Gerald can do. Sam sighed in disappointment. It stinks that he's making you go through that. I would have stopped him from hurting Scar if he hadn't. Sam smirked. Think so? Impulse nodded, returning his attention to the gadget before him. We could try to recreate it, figure out how he does it. That's an idea, Sam agreed. Do you need another headband? We can make do with the two we have, Impulse replied. To start. Sam smiled, getting to his feet. Let me know if there's something you need. You know I will. Sam nodded in reply before disappearing from view, his footsteps heading back to the adult bedroom. How are Clara, Matthias, and Joel's protectors doing? Was it going to take a few weeks before they were well enough to roam? Would Carnival be ready by then? Why hadn't they attacked yet, when they knew they were vulnerable? What was he waiting for? Impulse pushed the spiral of questions from his mind. There wasn't much he could do about it with what-ifs. Not when he had friends who were counting on him to play his part. Hopefully by the time Carnival was ready, they would be too. And that, unfortunately, is the end of that episode. Pardon for the background noise. Doing some puppy wrangling, I guess. Puppy and baby wrangling. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And, yeah, see you next week for Chapter 14 with BOO. See you in the next one, whenever that might be. Goodbye.